Might be hard to tell on their monitors, but both players right around the 5'11", almost 6 foot, if not 6 foot range.
And that's pretty tall for 54 kilograms.
Right,
which
sure.
Is what,
yeah,
118?
Yeah, 118 pounds to give our U.S. audience a good feel for what we're doing here. So they're almost at 6 foot tall, 118 pounds. So that's a long fighter, a very tall fighter. Again, familiar with both coaches. The Mexican coach, Coach Bong, is an Olympic coach.
Absolutely.
I'm the coach from Australia. I've known him for a while, and he's a solid coach for sure for the team from Australia.
And Mr. Lewis has already committed an infraction by not kicking. Now, you may see that over and over throughout the day. That simply means that an athlete raised his leg, but he didn't raise it to the height of the chest guard, which is the minimum requirement to execute a Taekwondo technique. So if you lift your leg and don't go high enough to commit an actual Taekwondo technique, you're committing an infraction, and your opponent will receive 1 point.
Both players kind of probing in the feeling out motion right here, so we'll see if one of them can break through and follow that front leg with maybe multiple leg attacks here.
I like the first 30 seconds of a match, kind of feeling it out. Might get that head kick, so bringing his foot up right behind, and I thought he would.
Yeah, they both received one right there, so they both got a head kick, so we're already at 4-3. Just any touch on that headgear will score, so don't be surprised if it doesn't look like it hit very hard. That'll still register as this equipment's very technical.
Right, and it's not just context, but it's proximity. And by falling, Mr. Rodriguez commits an infraction. Mr. Lewis gets a point, and we're all knotted up at 4 apiece.
Yeah, I like Bailey Lewis's attacks right here. He's been attacking with the front leg. He changes the cut to the axe kick to try to get it to take it down the middle. What that also does is keep Cesar Rodriguez from just countering because the foot's down the middle in his way.
Sure.
So great tactics by the Australian player for sure.
Coach, when you are walking your athlete into the ring at a final, and you've been in enough finals, you get to this point in the match, what are you telling them to start?
Yeah, at this point, what they're trying to do is, if we don't know the player, then we're going to have to feel him out for 30 seconds or so, 20 seconds maybe. Oh, great axe kick there.
Nice.
Rodriguez with the front leg defensive axe kick. So Lewis kind of came in with his leg a little lazy, right? Mm-hmm. And then what does Cesar do? He brings his front leg axe kick, right leg right over the top. That is the first round, 8-4 for Cesar Rodriguez. Again, a very crafty veteran. So hopefully, Lewis can come up with some ways to get around that. But I like what he's doing so far. He's putting the attack on Rodriguez and saying, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to beat me by me fighting you.
Right.
As the coaches are checking with their players, seeing if they're okay, giving them some instructions. We're going to show you some of the highlights here, and they've been good highlights so far. So there's Lewis touching the headgear. See, just brought it up. There's Rodriguez with the inside roundhouse kick to give him the point there. Beautiful front leg.
Front leg, wow. Right over the top. I love it.
Yeah, knees tight, bringing his knee tight, bringing it in and kind of bringing it at a kind of a straighter angle so it doesn't loop around
and can get caught up on the arm.
Right. Yeah, that's a beautiful motion there by Cesar Rodriguez. Again, crafty veteran here. Very
we watched him win the Junior World Championship in 2010. I think that's the first year I watched him fight on an international stage. He's been trending up ever since.
Here we go, second round here in our men's Finweight final. Cesar Rodriguez in the blue, Bailey Lewis from Australia in the red. Cesar's from Mexico. Again, just crafty veteran trying to get himself another U.S. Open title. He's had one before.
"15 seconds gone, and they're still kind of probing. When you see him get near that boundary, you see things kind of tighten up because they know that boundary is kind of the second man in the ring. And if you get close to that edge, you don't want to go out of bounds and give up a point for committing an infraction, but you also don't want to stand in there and get cracked in the face.
Right, there's a deduction for kicking low for Bailey Lewis, so it takes it to 9-4. Yeah, it's almost an invisible wall that they have there. So when they get near that boundary, they know they don't want 2 feet out and lose a deduction. So what do? They use it as an invisible wall and kind of bounce back in, and if you will, towards the player or to the right or left.
11-5. Really quickly and quietly, we got a 6-point lead.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Sherman. This has been just kind of casual. That's a casual lead that he's done, and he's done it with just methodical scoring, methodical motion, methodical offense, and a lot of defense here.
Would you say there was a method to his madness?
No question. Beautiful. There's some good motions here. There's some good action. I love this action here. So Lewis has got to put some time into this now and get busy, because going in the third round, being down to 6 points to Cesar Rodriguez is not going to be.
It's not ideal. That's not a place you want to find yourself. We had about 30 seconds left in this match. In this round. We still have another round, Loco.
Bailey Lewis gets a deduction for holding, just grabbing the arm a little bit, trying to give himself any little edge he can get to get a roundhouse kick, to get himself back in this game. He's down by 7. He's got plenty of time. He's got a whole nother round. Just about 15 seconds left in his third round. And great action here. I love this. Great, beautiful motions.
Tried to go under. And Cesar lifted that right leg up again, the lead leg out to the face again. He's kind of doing that to set a precedent, to let him know that if you come in this space, I'm trying to kick you in the face. And that ends the second round. We had a 12-7 match here after 2 rounds.
Yeah, the action is good, and it's hard. Maybe it's hard for people that don't know the sport well to say, hey, that's a lot of action. But to keep your leg up like that and to continually shoot it out and then change direction with it from a cut to an axe kick or a cut to a round kick, that's not easy to do. And you'll see it here as we'll get some action. As we come up, we'll see a few kicks on our replay. But just know that those guys are working hard to get that leg up there.
But, Jason, not only is it not easy to do, you have to do all that. At the same time, you have to prevent somebody from doing it to you.
No question, yes,
It's
exactly.
one thing to kick, but it's another thing to kick and avoid being hit.
Lewis with the cut axe that he's been trying to hit all day long. Cesar's got his hands in there nice and tight.
Rules have been modified to allow a little more physicality in there, and that's having a cardio toll, because athletes are able to kind of tussle and wrestle with each other now. And if you haven't built up your anaerobic capacity, that manifests itself in these third rounds.
Yeah, and I think it will show here too. Third round action here with Rodriguez from Mexico, 12. Bailey Lewis from Australia, 7. We're here in Las Vegas, and we're having a blast. I hope you guys stay with us all night. It's been great action here.
If you're not here yet, you can catch the late flight tonight, and you can make it here for tomorrow's action, because there'll be action tomorrow. There'll be action all day tomorrow. Nice try at a punch. Didn't really get his arm extended.
No, it had a good noise though, so I was surprised by that.
Right.
So there's a deduction. So now we're cutting it to 4. And we just talked about this. This is about to get interesting.
Oh, and again, did he get it?
Close, very close, but he didn't score there. So I like this attack by Lewis. So I like this kid's composure. I like his athleticism, but more than that, I like his heart.
And both of these young men are willing to fight it all the way out. And that's what we want to see.
Beautiful inside roundhouse kick. Makes good noise, doesn't score, just shows how good Cesar's cover is. He's got his arm in the way and blocking the majority of that kick.
We're down to just about a minute left in this match. Still have a 5-point differential. Keeps that leg in the way, and he keeps the leg in the way that obscures the attack, but he keeps it high enough so that he doesn't get penalized for it.
Yeah, and he can also score with it as well,
right.
Sherman. So as he keeps it high enough, he can just lift it up and maybe kick the face. A little desperation kick there by Lewis. You know, he's got some time here, so keep your composure.
He's got 40 seconds, but he might be starting to try to swing for the fences.
Sure. He's down. Now he'll be down by 6 points, so we're going to see what he can mount a couple attacks here with just about 30 seconds left in the third round of this final. Oh, I like the triple kick. He's going to have to be busy. I like this idea. He's just going to have to hit some head kicks here. So
try to go with the underkick, the Patachagi as we called it.
Sure.
But again, you said it. Cesar's cover is superb.
Yeah, 15 seconds left. Lewis on the attack. I like it. He's still attacking.
And so now he needs to swing for the fence.
Yeah, there's some desperation now.
Yeah, we don't need to get on base now.
On.
We need to hit a home run.
The deduction for Cesar Rodriguez, I don't think it's going to make a difference as he's going to finish up with our...
And that's time. And he puts a little bit of icing on the cake with the face kick. All right, so our winner in male under 54 kilograms, Cesar Rodriguez from Mexico.
Yeah, it was a beautiful kick and beautiful kick there at the end that didn't score, but I was really impressed that Cesar had the wherewithal to go ahead and make the attack there. And you'll see some of our highlights here. It was amazing to see that these guys just stretched their legs, have no problem reaching over, actually around the arm, and scored the points for Lewis. Cesar setting up his defense, brings his leg up over the shoulder, and tags Bailey Lewis right in the face. Maybe the best kick of the whole match right there by Rodriguez. Rodriguez brings it up again. Then Lewis brings it right back to him. And again, he's just too crafty with his cover, knows to move away, moves solidly to his right. So I like this. A little bit of wrestling inside, and that's part of the game here, trying to be physical. Rodriguez to the backside, nice. And here comes Lewis with the axe kick, but he just did his homework. He knows if he moves to his left, he's going to be just fine there.
Jason, it's just wonderful seeing